Hello, nerds and Tech 4.
What are
Welcome.
you talking about?
Welcome to
Tech 4 does not distinguish himself.
Welcome to Delving in Deep.
No!
You can't just shout at me and get me to stop doing that.
You're
Ever.
a marketing nightmare.
Ever. Getting removing that
I've
wire
been waiting.
frame. He kind of has been. He kind of has been. He's did my taxes today. I need to do mine. Ooh.
No. He did his taxes with 3 X's. That means he did them naked.
I gotta open Verity. I forgot to open my plant-based game. That's a lot of X's. I got my tax statement from Amazon, not Amazon, from Twitch. So from Amazon.
Oh, okay, I guess yes. Wait, they send you tax documentation on actually it's probably maybe slightly by state, because most of the time for smaller contractors you don't have to do it if you did. Let's say if I work for a company and they pay me $500, it is not the company's problem to send me the paperwork, so I list it. I, as the contractor, am responsible to list that income.
They
And I
reported
know
on
for a
their end,
fact you
don't
didn't
they?
make $600 from Twitch last year.
I
Guaranteed.
definitely did. Oh wow, ouch! I had some pretty awesome donators who definitely got me above $100. All right, enough about my taxes.
Hey, welcome in Delving into Taxes with your host, Tax 4.
Wait, does this? One second. Bazinga? I have it still. I have it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today, episode 7, we've decided that we're talking about the followers of our gods. We're going to come up with some of the main figureheads that are going to roam this world on a more, I say regular person basis, right? Like you're not walking down the street and God is there, but maybe Jesus, right? Maybe Jesus shows up.
Hey, Laura, how's it going? How's the wife and kids? Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's him,
man.
that little cool.
The enforcers, right? Or even the ones spreading the word. You know, what do they look like? What are the big figureheads? What are their names?
And because audience interaction is important. No, Tech 4, I do not have all my W-2s yet.
Audience interaction. He's gonna make this a tax.
Yep.
A tax stream. So that being said, if you're watching this on YouTube, like I know that millions of you are sometime in 2025 when I'm a megastar.
Or a serial murder.
You probably missed out. Yes, serial murder. You probably missed out because we're live. But anybody else who's happened to watch it like soon, we do this every week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. What's that?
I have 2 W-2s or 1 W-4.
Oh my gosh.
Not only tax jokes, but math jokes.
Comment if you're watching this in 2032. Right, so if you go onto Twitch and watch the video, reel, you can actually type in the chat. It won't show up here on stream though, because time doesn't work that way. Maybe we should add that to our episode, the way time works in tweets.
Okay.
Yep. Come on. Let's focus on this for a moment. If what is social media like in a fantasy realm? Like the Forgotten Realms. Carrier pigeons. But what are the kids doing? Because carrier pigeons everybody's doing. But what are the kids doing that the old people are like, back in my day we used carrier. Cans and strings. You think this is the cans and string generation?
Yes.
Twitch dies in 2031. It would be replaced then by what? Like Twatch? Like right after Twitch falls, Twatch shows up.
Like is that like the brother company of Swatch, that watch company that told times instead of using I'm forgetting. It was base 10. There you go, instead of base 6.
Yeah, maybe that's what happens. We just get instead of giving us like one ninja stream at a time, they find out how to give us twice the ninja streams.
Jason TV. That tech, that is a fantastic joke that nobody ever watching this will ever get. But I appreciate it.
I'm gonna have to have that explained to me.
So
I knew what Twitch used to be called. I knew it had that name.
Yeah. So it's the brother company of that.
Okay. Ha ha ha.
So hey everybody, welcome to Delvin and Deep, where we don't do any delving for the first 5 to 15 minutes.
Hello everybody. We don't, because that's how all interesting podcasts start out with, right? You gotta have some banter, right? We gotta be interesting people, and then we go in.
Absolutely.
And then we go in and make grandiose claims. We let them know that we're the best Dungeons and Dragons stream on Twitch. And if you're watching this, congratulations, you found us early. Subscribe now to stay in tune with the news and stuff.
Man.
The plot. I watch it for the plot.
the hope that this goes somewhere, or the hope that you have that this is going somewhere, it reinvigorates me every time.
I hope, man. Look, we are the #1 Dungeons and Dragons stream. No, without that, I did the numbers. I crunched it. There's actually
Take that, Mercer.
There's actually only one other D&D stream in existence. No other D&D streams. I looked it up. It's real.
It's true.
And they're not very good. So here we are. Here we are, and so Paladins and Clerics. We just go down the list?
Well, yeah. So people who've been tuning in to this quote unquote show.
Sure.
We talked from the very beginning about, like, one of the ideas that we were sort of messing around with that I think is pretty cool is a essentially each god, there's sort of, their divine magic. So there's going to be like a paladin and a cleric that is, in some sort of system. Some may be, elected, others may be the most fierce, others may be just, I don't know, the chosen ones. Like, they definitely be different ways, but there essentially be some form of, structure where there's a paladin and there's a cleric that sort of are the...
You think just like one at the top? You think there's like a pope?
Yeah. And like, they could definitely vary, but in the same way, like, that there's presidents, dictators, and that sort of sense. They're all roughly the same idea of just a leader of a country in some way, and how they get there is a little bit different, but it's, one of the same. And who knows, maybe one of them, it does make sense to have like an actual council, but even in that, there's like a speaker of the council.
Tech, to answer your question, the question is, what is a government? I don't know. They've currently turned off. We're hoping to get the power back soon, though, and then I can answer the question. Hey. All right, so then this is gonna look a little different from person to person.
Yes.
And I have an idea for one of them, but we gotta go one at a time. I can't skip ahead. We get all over the place. So let's go with. I'm gonna delete what we had for the timeline on this episode page. It's still on episode 5. But I'm not deleting real content here, guys. We had some great timeline stuff. But I'm gonna start with Loros. So Loros is our god of spirituality, the lawful good, antithesis to Actun's lawful evil. Mm-hmm. They have a paladin and they have a cleric. Now, I almost feel like the cleric is like a feed the hungry kind of cleric, and the paladin's like a righteous war kind of cleric or paladin. Is this where?
Yeah. So, like, I think, sort of. I think there's like. So yeah, because also, like, I think another point to touch on is like how does, like, is the god choosing them, right? Like,
right. So let's think adventurers. How do adventurers become the most powerful level 20 person, right? They do things in service of the god.
Right. So yeah, so it's I'm just trying to think.
So
Because so are they pointing it like? Is it from the top down or bottom up? Does everyone sort of just like agree that these guys are the best, or like is
no, these
you
are
know
appointed because the power of paladins and clerics come from the god.
right? Okay, and so that
Most of these should be
yeah.
appointed.
Yeah, no, unless okay, so we're on the same page with that, and unless there's for some reason a very special exception, but I can't even think. But yeah, the paladin definitely, war hero, probably
The general.
has saved many lives.
Okay.
Sort of, it's
I like it. I mean, this
right
might have
because
been worked up the ranks of Loras's army, 20 years ago, joined up and through
right because
heroic
not
acts
to
and
like skip
deeds.
ahead, but like the difference, like I also like the Actune's paladin is going to be the general as well. But I think like the difference between them is like this is maybe more known for like strategy of for preserving because Loros is all about the survival of or the number of
Hmm.
followers. Like
No,
he
no,
likes
no,
to
no.
have a lot of followers.
I like that. I like that. But lawful good always has this like. I like the theme at least. That lawful good has this weakness of power and control. So like maybe not the most
What?
strategic at maybe not the most strategic at saving lives and being the good guy, but making the difficult decisions that villages have to fall for the greater good.
So in the end, preserving the, I mean, it like that paladin is not afraid to stand at the crossroads of a train tracks where there's one person tied up on one side and people tied up on the other. He's definitely comfortable switching the track so the one person gets run over.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Think about
That's
it.
a great problem. I pose that ethics problem to my class consistently. Um, did you ever heard the deviation that comes after that?
Where you just put the oh well, it's one because if you're talking about like actual
All right, so let's
it's
start from
one
the beginning.
where
Let's
you
start from
have
the
to
beginning.
switch it. It's
All right.
where you have to then choose to
No,
kill more people
no.
or less people.
Right,
Sorry.
no. So here, okay. So to frame the beginning of this, because we're jumping around, if you're not familiar with this problem, it's called the trolley problem. There's a train coming down the track, and there's a switch, and the train is going to kill 5 people. But if you pull the lever, the train will only kill 1 person, right? And
Who's on the others?
there are no other options, no other options but pulling the lever, and that's what everybody devolves into. Well, I'll just yell at them to tell them to get off the track. Like that's not an option. I don't care what the scenario is. It's not, okay. And so a lot of people will either like they'll do nothing, or they'll go greater good and pull the lever. And I split the class into 2 sides of the room to see who they are. And then I asked the question, same problem, but it's a straight track, and there's a bridge going over it, and the train will kill 5 people. But there's a really fat man at the top of the bridge. He is so fat that if he were to jump off in front of the train, he would stop the train at the cost of his own life and save 5 people. But he's not going to jump. Can you push him?
Oh, okay.
And the people who would pull the lever, the same people who pull the lever, don't necessarily push the man because now they're having a very direct impact on the scenario.
So this paladin would push the fat man.
I think this paladin pushes the fat man. Absolutely,
Okay.
pushes the fat man.
Now-
I'm sorry, Sean. You have to go.
Ooh.
Can't repeat words.
But yeah. Also, that's how everybody levels up. Man, my middle school class, everybody was busy leveling up while I was still level 1. I can tell you that right now.
For context, Tech Force says they grind. That's how everybody levels up. For those who aren't hanging out in Twitch chat. All right, so let's look at the. Go ahead.
Yeah,
we can't spend 5 minutes on every one of these.
No, I mean, why? Why can't this be the episode?
I mean, it is the episode, but wouldn't that be like 2 hours?
No, five. So we have 9. That's 18 times 5. That's 18 times 5 is 50. Mm-hmm. Plus another 8 is 40. So that's 90 minutes. So it's an hour and a half.
Right. And what time is it now?
7:15.
And how much bullshitting do we add into that to pad that out?
Oh, well, I'm just saying we spent 5 minutes. Does that 5 minutes include the banter or
I don't
not?
know. We're actually 10 minutes on this guy. He needs a name.
Well, that's not true because
he doesn't need a name.
No, we don't need names yet. I would say that.
Hey,
that
the way is through says, "Tell me more about you two grinding."
See, everybody who comes in the show isn't coming through for the show. It's coming through us just to talk about stuff that they want us to talk about. It's taxes. It's grinding. But what was I going to say?
You were saying what to think?
Oh, so the cleric, right? So is this cleric? Is this a battle cleric who is like a frontline medic, or is he a person who's going from town to town creating food?
Loris is easy because Loris has two objectives right now, right? Defeat Actun and spread the word. So this cleric is a missionary. This cleric is going around being the Mother Teresa of battle clerics. Like people love this cleric. Uses the power for the good of the greatest number of people and the smallest number of people. Just everybody loves this person.
Okay. So this person's probably the most loved character in the world.
Okay.
Because Loros has the biggest following.
Okay. Most loved person in the world. Mother Teresa would be ashamed because she didn't have magical powers. Like, that's what I imagine. Like Mother Teresa, but can actually, create food and water. I like it. Can we name the person Desmond Doss? If I understood the reference, probably, definitely. If I don't understand the reference, yeah, sure, why not? As long as it's not crazy, and I'm gonna get in lots of trouble. So I'm gonna Google this. Actually, let's just Google this. Let's not play this game.
Desmond Doss is the father of
a combat medic.
I like both of those answers. It's the daughter of Diamond Doss, who was a porn actress in the late 1830s.
I didn't think that was a thing in the 1830s.
It's the world's oldest profession.
No, I don't think that is. I don't. Maybe it could have been. The combat medic. I got no problem with that. That's cool. He did die about 12 years ago. People who searched for him also searched for Andrew Garfield, Luke Bracey, and Mel Gibson. Also.
Oh, so it's an actual person.
Desmond Doss, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Of the 16 million men in uniform during World War II, only 430 received Congressional Medal of Honor. One of those placed around the neck was a young Seventh-day Adventist who, during combat, had not killed a single enemy soldier. In fact, he refused to carry a gun. His only weapons were the Bible and the faith in God. Referring to prostitution as an older profession is a common expression. I won't vouch for if it's true, but it's definitely something people say.
Yes.
All right. We need a name for the Paladin.
Oh, so we are naming them.
Oh yeah, let's get names down. You got like a random name generator up? We can do that.
I can.
Yeah. We don't need to like really put a lot of thought into a lot of. Like, this guy can just be like Bob Toss, right? Tech Force says, "Wait, I have the name generator.
Okay.
Let me link you.
Oh
all right.
God.
We're doing this. Name him Roland. Got it. It's Roland.
Like who's that? Is that Borderlands? There's a Borderlands Roland.
There's a lot of Rolands. I mean, there's a Dark Tower Roland, isn't there?
Yeah. So are they gonna have a last name too? Like
they don't. I mean, they can. They can't. You know.
Desmond Doss.
He's got team name generator. Now the team name generator will probably create things like Falcons,
The shiny Libirds.
Right.
The dirty ravens. The bashful jackals.
Oh. If I recall correctly, Roman was Charlemagne's son. The knights that served him were the origin of the term paladin.
There's a D&D.
Oh, that one's huge. What fancy name generator?
Yeah. So there's a D&D name one specifically.
All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of family names to some of these names. Just everybody shouts them out, so they're not all so super obvious. Roland Coswin. Done. All right. So Fortic. Fortic is our god of knowledge and skill. He has the giant library in the desert.
And he disappeared.
He disappeared. His paladins and clerics probably.
Is the paladin the guardian of the library?
I kind of imagine him like a city. I'd say city guard in mentality, but at a bigger scale.
Right. Well, he watches over the whole country. It's not like because you were talking about all the libraries.
Right.
Like there's like a number of libraries. Like all of the libraries, like eventually everybody reports to him, and he's the one that you say that people have to watch over. They're like, you can look at this book, but you can't like copy it or take it out of the library. Like that all comes to him. So, because he can't be at all maybe he's at like the biggest library and like goes and visits the other libraries to.
Warhammer has some pretty cool guys, pretty cool names of some people. They're all librarians, or let's see, Warhammer 40K Space Marine What is the name of this thing? They're these warrior. So Space Marines in general are warrior priests. I think it's the Librarians. That's what they call them. And Tech, I think, Librarians. And I think maybe we go there. We go there with the Paladins, or the Paladins or the Clerics. One of these are the Librarians, and they're these powerful. In this case, they're powerful psychics and warriors.
Would that be more of a cleric role?
No, I think the paladin is the warrior here.
So like the warrior is the one who's like you return your book to.
I still think that's the cleric. I still think the clerics are like the administrators.
Right. Okay. So we're on the same page. Okay.
We're just calling them the librarians. We're calling them, and that's this term that should invoke fear in combat.
Right.
Like if you check out a book and you don't return it, this dude's coming at the librarian is coming after you.
So stupid. Oh, it's great.
Head librarian. If you, I'm putting that in there. Check out a book, and don't return it. He is the late fee. John says, "Is that a librarian? I can't imagine that critter asking for my library card or shushing me. I think he'd be a very effective shusher if that just popped up and was like, shh. This is what we're talking about. This is what he's referring to on the channel. Let me just pull it up. That's vicious. If that literally popped up in a library and was like, keep your volume down, I'd listen. We open up more.
Wait, that's the Space Marine thing?
No.
Oh, okay, that's something different. Oh,
okay. A librarian Space Marine is more like this guy here, and I pulled him up on stream as well. You'll see him in a moment, and then I can pull him away.
Okay, yeah, that's sort of what picture in here.
And so the cleric, I imagine head administration, probably controls the library cards, right? So I'm talking in a broader sense,
right.
But controls access to the library. Responsible for background checks, dignitaries, things like that. And then, you know, maybe that's the greater their greater responsibilities is, you know, the clerics are running the library, the paladins are enforcing the rules.
Yep.
So I need a first name for the head librarian. His last name I already have.
Victor.
Okay, got it. Victor Arilabard.
They brought in alderman.
All right, so the cleric, we need first name. Got it already. Too slow. Lance. These are all men. I'm doing a bad job.
I was just thinking about that.
They are. Fantasy female names. Like is
Sasha.
God damn it.
That's just as much as a name as Victor, Lance, Desmond, or Roland.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's just you know, I'm a fresh Game of Thrones convert, so. Which one is the pool boy? Says Tech. My ex loved it when he would come clean up when I was at work. Come to think of it, we never had a pool.
Pool boys are very versatile, though. They can also like trim hedges.
Bazinga. Yep.
God.
We got the button. There should definitely be Olivia. Roman history fan of me needs it. Okay. I have an idea for Olivia. But first, Sanalis,
I think, is going to be maybe difficult because if her big thing is creating creatures, that's not something that paladins or clerics naturally do in D&D.
Yes, but I already have an idea.
Oh, well, isn't Casey just the best DM ever?
Guardian of the Forest. Oversees the protection of the, forest. A bit probably overzealous. And overprotective. I think those are the same thing.
So that paladin doesn't get along with Kurlom's paladin.
It just depends.
Because the forest is going to have to stop somewhere,
right?
And it's
that's probably the person trying to help push the boundaries. You know, trying to extend the domain of Sanalis. Right, so everything that Sanalis creates is precious.
And then the cleric is the one who cares for the creatures.
I could see it. Oversees the care
the zookeeper.
Right. Hey, actually, Sanalis, we have a few too many carnivores. Can we go ahead and invent cows, please? We need cows. It's the kind of this loafing creature like the hippo, but less dangerous. Take away the big snout and the teeth. Yeah, nope, perfect. Can we put bells on them so they're easier to track and hunt? Maybe they produce some kind of milk, some kind of lactate.
Oh man.
So yeah, I think this one does analysis in order to help maintain a balance.
Yeah. So she's not necessarily breeding them; she is creating them to help guide the chat along.
Right. Well, I mean, she's not breeding them, but you got to create creatures that can breed, and maybe that was one of the early lessons. Right. Was, if life's going to continue, I can't just be popping out one creature at a time. These creatures need to be able to pop out other versions of themselves.
Well, or it could be like sometimes like things will get a little out of hand, so there's just like one ginormous dinosaur, and like she's like, yeah, I can't have two of those. And then like it could just be like a giant monster that roams around. And they could deal with it, but they don't want to like they're like busy enough where it's like not that much of a problem, but like because it's chaotic good, right?
No, you're not wrong. I think I need a female name for this paladin.
Um. Um.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Uh. I can't pronounce any of these names. That just we got Nota. We got Betsy.
Betsy the paladin.
We got Taddy. We got Rosamond. We got Maul. We got Taddy.
Taddy, like Taddy. All right, I'm going to the elf name generator because that feels better for this.
I was sorry. I was in knight names. Pop culture.
Bella.
Fantasy names.
Right.
Oh my god.
There we
go. They have an alphabetized list
of categories.
And there's hundreds of them. Not hundreds, but
I know. I know what generator you're looking at, and I'm not even on it right now.
You're not even on that right now. Got him, chat. High five.
Oh,
boom.
Man. Bazinga?
How do you pronounce that? Belly?
I don't care how you pronounce it. It's fantasy. Let other people worry about that.
You're the DM.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pronounce them. If anyone, it's gonna be you.
Yeah, see, the problem there is nobody listens to the creator anyway. Let's talk about gifts now.
Not wrong. Oh man.
All right.
Or like Rihanna.
So John had a something up here. I need to go back and recall. Paladin Alderman, he said Olivia. Okay, we do have Olivia. All right, so we're gonna have to do Olivia. So Olivia, John is this simple self-awareness farming guy, right? And I feel like he doesn't have a lot of paladins and clerics. He doesn't gift his power to people. And these might be some of the.
Any.
No, see, okay. Have you ever seen Flight of the Conchords?
The band?
The band, yes. They have a TV show, an HBO TV show.
Oh, the guys that sing "It's Business Time."
Right.
It's business time. That song?
Yes, that song. Have you seen their show?
No.
Okay. So what I'm getting at is they have this rabid fangirl who stalks them and follows them around. But she's like, she is their only fan. And she just absolutely adores them. And she's got this, she's very goofy. You ever hear that female voice in Twitch chat when somebody donates and it's text to speech?
No.
Never heard that? Well, that's her.
No. Oh, that's her because I'd say I'd hear it in your stream, but nobody ever donates. Got him. Bam.
Got him. You gotta set it. You gotta. I don't know how people set it up, but it's a thing. You gotta trust me. That's what I picture the paladin. I would just say the paladin. No cleric, one paladin.
But why would John allow this to exist?
I don't think he does. I don't think he promotes it at all.
Then why doesn't he just smite her?
Because he's not that kind of guy. It's okay. So your stalker's coming up, and she's really excited, and you're like, "Oh, here she comes again." Yes, hey Livia, how you doing? Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But the problem is, he's a god. So unlike me and all of my countless stalkers,
yes,
I can't just turn people off.
Right.
Like he would be able to.
That's against his principles.
Is it though?
It is if we say it is though. Is it?
Well, because it does, but he also has that lover on the other side of the world that's dead.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right. This isn't someone necessarily trying to be his lover. Yeah. This is probably more like a fighter who wants, like a low level fighter who wants to, and is the only thing he has to call a paladin. I just love the idea of this character.
How does she know it's John? Because isn't that another thing? Like, you don't know who he is.
Right. I mean, the players may have a chance to find out. Why can't Livia have found out? There's a story there.
So it's not necessarily like so.
Look, have you ever?
Like,
okay.
So this person isn't right behind John at all. This person is looking for John.
No. This person is like trying to convince John to take her as a paladin, and he keeps saying no. And so she'll go about her business for a few days and then show up again. I think this person is like Doctor Who, right? She found some old photos that look like John, but they were from like 300 years ago, and she's like, "What?" And then she found some more photos of him popping up through history, right? And that's she's like tracking this down.
So she's figured it out.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I can't say I'm in love with it, but I don't hate it enough to try to assert my 50% role.
I'm not gonna say a fighter, more like a scholar who discovered.
Thanks.
I need a
Thanks.
What's up?
Thanks, a way out. I really appreciate that. I think I turn a lot of people on, especially when I am building my own D&D world while talking to my other D&D group's DM to get me into that game, because nothing screams lady boner like that.
What are you talking about?
The way out said that I can absolutely turn people off.
Good for you. I was typing. I missed so much context in that conversation in what you were saying.
I mean, half of it is written down.
Right, fair enough. None. Cleric, none. The only thing close to an actual paladin that he has. Next up is Krolome. So
this is maybe the one where I could see is it at like a council or something like.
Okay, so this is a merchant, an explorer, and this, you think he's a counselor, not like a ship captain, not like an admiral?
No, I would think like the cleric, the counselor.
Okay.
And the paladin's the ship captain.
Okay. What's he counseling on?
He runs. I would say this might be one of the, they have one of like the largest cities, and then there's like the like towns next to it. Like he's the closest thing to a president the world has.
Okay.
And so like I just like picture like the main paladin, or the main cleric, like, and he's just like flanked by like 10 other, like 5 clerics on each side, and they sit in a council and they debate how to do things.
I like the idea of this one being like the State Department head. This is the person who negotiates with all.
So you're saying, right? Okay, like to me that's pretty much the same thing.
Right.
If you could talk me through sort of like I guess besides verbiage, like what differences you think that what I said entails.
No. So this I'm trying to get a good word for it, but counselor / international relations. They are the voice of Krolome, manages their affairs, and
he's the internal and external, shoot, no, I just lost it.
I'd say at this point, like maybe Krolome is not managing his own affairs, so this person might be the most direct representation of a god on this map, because Krolome is exploring. He doesn't want to be tied down to a desk job. He's got clerics for that. Closely manages everything. Because Krolome is off being free. So the paladin manages an admiral. Protects the waters.
Yeah, he could be like not like a pirate, but like Blackbeard, like on Ambassador. Blackbeard notoriety. Like if you were sailing in the Caribbean, you knew who Blackbeard was. Like he's the one guy that everybody knows, and
Yeah, I like it.
If
Renowned.
there's even like an inkling that he might not like you, you don't sail your ship near him.
Sure.
Like you will wait in port if you get word that he's out at sea. Like,
okay, I like it. An admiral protects the water, feared and heavily respected by all, by most. By most. The seas, making the seas. This makes the seas some of the safest places on the realm, discounting the creatures. I can't make it safe from water turtles. Dragon turtles. Port is the left side of the boat. So, do people sail on the left side of the ocean?
yes, absolutely, 100%.
I'm down. All right, we need names. So, Krolome needs something fierce. I'm sorry, Krolome's paladin needs something fierce and fake.
But also watery.
All right. Also watery.
What does that mean?
How about moist beard?
Nope.
I'm moist beard.
Okay, do they have a pirate name generator?
They might need one.
Of course they do.
They have a name. I mean, yeah. Come on. What do you got? Just throw one out.
None of these are good.
They're all great.
Rigby Samuel.
That's no. That's a name. It's got to be bigger than a name, like Batman.
Okay, so let me see what they have.
Bigger than that. Master Sea Captain guy should be Sun Sin. Sun Tzu.
Butchard the Sparrow Sagar. Ty Mad Eye Padley.
Keep going.
We got Ingram the Wrath Umbry.
You know what? This one.
Sadler Golden Hair Landon.
This one is a woman.
Alda. No, I don't like that one. No, none of these are fishy. But Electa Nightmare Sidolphus.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go with white hair. No.
White hair.
White hair. White hair is one of the randomly generated things I just got. White hair.
I'm not getting any.
That's not ominous.
No.
Brown
Brown teeth. What? Doubloon. She's known as Doubloon. I don't know what a snail would want with a brooch.
I just got one that says Rosalie, air quote, she devil, shade.
She devil? So she's the she devil.
The she devil. We could work. I mean, we could work with something like that.
Sula Reaper Bing. The Siren. Grimace.
I got shark bait, crystal shark bait, Gabranth.
Shark bait. Deranged, rambling, and grommet. Seduction. None of these are just like named things. Zigzag. Jessica Zigzag.
Oh my gosh.
Catham.
Vivian Three-Tooth Requiem.
Plankton.
I'm not going to spend too much more time. I'm going to find a good one.
I mean, She Devil. I mean, it wasn't terrible.
It's almost cliche.
Ooh, eerie, handsome Lucifer.
Whoa, now.
Because everybody calls her handsome because so few people have seen her, they don't know what she looks like.
I'm just gonna go with the Siren.
Okay. What about Thora Twitching Lee? Like, that's not an like. What is that?
All right, we need a cleric. This is the Hamburglar. Tech Force still says moist. He understands moist beard now. I'm not sure what was not understandable to begin with.
The cleric.
Oh God,
Dudley.
I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna click this link. Oh, it's just a hamburglar. I was wondering about this. Are you sending me a picture of Moistbeard? Uh,
What about Dudley?
we need a cleric, and that's gonna be Dudley. Dudley Hamburglar.
No.
Dudley Hams.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not gonna make it
with
Hamburglar with two M's.
With two M's. That'd be two M's.
Dudley Hams. And it looks like that. All right. The Minimo. The Minimo's Paladin and Cleric.
So one of these two is whoever can drink the most.
Okay. That to me seems like a Paladin trait. Above,
Okay.
The one who can drink the most is granted the most power from the minimum. Okay, you've seen Futurama, right?
Yes.
You remember the green slug soda guy?
Is that Zap Brannigan's?
No.
Okay.
Oh gosh, 1 second. I gotta look it up. So the idea of this one, Slurm. Futurama Slurm, party McKenzie, or like party something McKenzie was his thing, and he was like, he had to party. Yeah, Slurm McKenzie's. He was hired to party all the time. It was exhausting work, and he hated it. Eventually, I see it. It took me like 1 second to see you write Slurm, party slug. Anyway, however, these paladins don't last long, usually due to alcohol poisoning and irresponsible decision making.
Well, yeah, and you can only be partying the hardest for long. So like his paladins are constant.
Okay, so we don't even have to say alcohol poisoning. Like these paladins don't last long because
like one of them parties so hard they pass out and they can't party that night because there's a party every night. And so maybe there's like somebody who like can last like a week and then they fall off.
No, but there's powers in D&D that remove, disease. Like paladins can sober themselves up with magic.
So it's like one of the things. So they're using magic to party harder.
Right.
But they party so hard they run out of spell slots.
Oh man. So it's if they're granted the power, they can cure themselves of alcohol 20 times a day. I don't know if they run out at 20th level.
You underestimate Dominimo's parties. Because he makes alcohol that's more than 100% alcohol. He's a god.
Is Dominimo just gonna be like this caricature of a god? Paladins do. It's called Lay on Hands, and they spend 5 points. You remove poison. You remove poison from your system, which, funny enough, is alcohol. All right. So we got to word this right. These paladins don't last long because no one can keep up the pace
with Dominimo. Yeah, because Dominimo doesn't have spell slots.
Dominimo doesn't need spell slots.
Right.
Okay. I almost imagine Dominimo would have to, like, he's a god, so maybe his liver doesn't process alcohol the same. So he's probably got like an IV the size of my fist, just chugging away constantly.
And the clerics are they the brewers? Like, is there some of that going on? Like, is he a fine wine kind of guy? Like, are there like lush? Does he use his Santalist's growth to create like grapes of proportion? Or they're bigger than
Are you saying like bigger grapes? Like
Well, no, I'm just saying that like they the clerics are the ones that produce the best alcohol.
Okay, so the clerics.
I mean, they also party, but they, you know,
Do they also party?
well, everybody parties.
I feel like
They
this.
just don't.
Okay.
You feel like this world wouldn't work,
I feel like somebody's got to be responsible.
right? Nobody.
Nobody.
um, they're responsible during the day, and then at night they party every night. But every day they don't party.
Does everybody like? See, here's the thing.
No, only the rich. Only the rich.
Here's the thing about. Here's the thing about the minimo. It's pleasure and recreation. Right. But drinking every night isn't the only pleasure and recreation. Like, I think some of these people also enjoy things like, I don't know,
drinking during the day.
Drinking during the day. It's just one big alcohol party. No, I mean, like other pleasures, massages, hiking, sightseeing, relaxing, right? Really bad novels.
But
Korean dramas.
But that's
skateboarding. Exactly. There's skate parks. There's theme parks.
I've invented this thing. It's a board with wheels.
If you're tired of walking, just glide to your destination.
We just need to find a smooth surface, but we can't find one because the roads are made out of rocks
and alcohol.
Broken alcohol
bottles.
But then none of that has to do with like work. Like, who's gonna pick up the trash?
Okay, so,
Is de minimis.
This would not work. This would not work.
The most what's it called? Where there's there's the upper class and the low class, but there's no like middle class. So like the upper class parties, and then the lower class just has to take care of it all. So like his country is actually the most unequal.
I see the theme there. I'm trying to understand how we get there.
Because Domenico doesn't care. He's not he has his friends that he parties with. There's some people that don't party in his realm. Maybe,
I mean, I can't imagine everybody in his realm parties. Like, that's not like you follow your god, you enjoy pleasure and recreation, and he's okay with that, right? He's not out smiting people. He doesn't care. You're right. He doesn't care. But
as long as you're not ruining his party. Like, if you knock on his door and say you're calling the police because you're filing a noise complaint, he might smite you.
So I think his clerics are the people doing the hard work, like managing the empire, because he's going to give that's the easiest way to do it, is give his power to people who would take care of everything for him.
But then why would they do it?
Power, money.
So but they still are rich, but they maybe just don't like to party.
I don't know. I'm not saying they don't like to party. I'm not saying they don't party. I'm not saying they don't take indulgence in the things that de Minimo does. But he rewards those. He rewards those who help him achieve his goals.
So like the Paladins are his frat brothers, whereas like the Paladins are the best class.
I mean, they're definitely strong.
I mean, does that still make them the people who make the alcohol?
I think they oversee the production. They're the overseers of the country. They actually run the country in much of the same ways that
so then
Dudley does.
What is the job? Yeah, see, but to me that makes sense for Cologne, but it doesn't to me here it just feels like a copy and paste.
Some of these, I
feel like there's something better.
I mean, we're gonna have some copy and paste, but like Loros and Ektun are going to have some similarities.
Right. But those I see where it fits with Cologne, but
well, who is, because here's the problem. De Minimo's country doesn't exist with the picture you're painting. There has to be some authority, somebody managing at a minimum level this country.
Right, but does that have to be the most powerful cleric? Like, why can't it just be Philip?
Okay. Why can't okay, so if Philip is the one enabling and running the country, I guess why wouldn't these gods grant that kind of power?
Because he doesn't care. Because Dominimo doesn't care.
Well, Dominimo knows that if he doesn't promote people into positions of power, the partying slows down.
I mean, if Philip gets paid enough, I mean, like, I don't, like, to me, running Kurlom's country is way harder than running this one. Like,
okay.
I picture this one just like
you
a
have to
giant
tell
city.
me, what is the head cleric doing then? Because the only picture I have is running the country. So you have to tell me.
Well,
what
like he's the one who makes the alcohol, like that, like the people who supply the alcohol, because like
brewers,
like when it what yeah, and
right.
the like the administration isn't treated poorly, but at the same time they aren't as valued as like in Prolong's world. But like if you're like the mayor of the mayor of the capital city in Dominimo's country, that doesn't keep you out of the 1%.
Okay.
Like,
I'm going to call them brewers and chemists because I think along with alcohol, there's drugs.
mm-hmm.
I'm there. Chemists and brewers. Is there a head cleric we're worried about?
It would just be like maybe there's like one guy who has mastered Dominimo's favorite wine, and this guy doesn't change. Like he's been there for a while. Like he's perfected this wine.
Okay. He earned his position by perfecting Dominimo's favorite wine. Okay. I wouldn't even say just perfecting his favorite wines, but perfecting his understanding of Dominimo's taste palette.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever, hey, he says, hey, I'm hungry. He knows, what what Dominimo likes. He's always delivered the best, whatever. Favorite wine being Barefoot Moscato because Dominimo is basically ASF. Oh, man. We're going to give him a name.
Yeah, because this guy has a name.
Thaddeus. It's going to be, what if we call this one, like, Haley?
Yes.
Haley.
Yes.
Thaddeus.
Absolutely.
Hail Thaddeus.
Best idea of the night.
All right. She earned her position by perfecting her understanding of the most taste palette. Okay. I spelled it a little differently. We're not.
Nope.
We're good. And he'll never know.
Nope, because he doesn't watch.
How's it feel to have close friends who can't even tune in? Ugh.
I wouldn't know because all of our close friends are here. Hello,
that's true.
chat.
Look at that. Because
we sure as hell don't have actual viewers. We just have our friends. God dang it.
That's actually a constant theme I actually appreciate is I have great friends who hang out in these things. It's got to make more great friends. All right, so we're moving on.
Yeah, I think so.
Tech Forces, fuck off, Tom.
Why?
I think he actually legitimately said something nice about you. But
maybe that's why. I don't think it's one of like if Tech Force says like nice things about me, like I get butterflies, but I also don't like it. It's like when the CEO of your company like says good job, like you don't know what to do.
Right. I mean, maybe you don't, because it happens to me very frequently.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
Well, one award.
Oh,
this is what we get.
One award, not a second annual award.
And how long have you been teaching?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I win an award for 2/3 of my effort?
Shut up.
All right. So Ectune. Now I think this one's also general of Ectune's army.
Correct. But this one, like, he's murdered the most.
I don't even think this is is this murdered the most?
No, well, in
Most
combat.
like this is because like I don't think generals are personally doing the murdering, but most effective military strategist.
Well, it's to me, I would like I would always think, like, whereas, what was it? Roland Croswen is maybe an armchair general, but like
Right.
I would expect Ectune's guy to be front of the line. So like maybe Roland has seen one or two Ectune generals, but like nobody's really that afraid if they can't come face to face with Roland. But
Um.
they
So I think
well,
all.
I'm not saying like, oh, here's like, a level 1 guy with a spear. Oh, hey, Roland, I don't have any fear for you. But like,
I think
you
all of
know,
all the general and army paladins have that naturally, automatically.
right.
But I think
But
here's the difference for me between Ectune and Robad. I when you say killed the most people, I don't think that's impressive. For like Ectune's like your conquest. Have you conquered land with my armies? And that's what he's done. Robad's like you're the slayingest motherfucker I have. Hell yeah, you're my paladin. You murder
okay,
everyone.
okay,
And I think that's the difference in
okay,
why Robad's not successful.
okay. So meaningful killings.
Yeah, I think he was quick. So I have a little bit of a distinction here. I threw in. So I said Loras' general grew up through the rank structure, preserving the greater good. I think Ectune was quickly promoted through the ranks through sheer
Mhm.
displays of brilliance.
Right. But I like to me, I still think that it should like the Ectune's paladin is like an Alexander the Great. He's on the front line.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Oh, I'm sure, absolutely.
yeah. Where I don't think Loros' general or paladin is.
Right, and that's leadership. Through sheer
Right.
brilliance of strategy, I'm gonna say and leadership. You're right, and I think he is fighting at the front. He's a regular old warrior. Um, Not that a fight between the two of them wouldn't be a very close match.
Right.
Um, all right, and then the cleric in this
But yeah,
part.
I guess what I meant by like more like the other thing is like I would say like the Ectunes, like the other guys, that it's not that they hate fighting next to the Ectune's paladin, but he's terrified.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I could see it. I'd give him a wide berth.
whereas with like like Roland may have like a
Hmm.
small counselor, like, sir, I think we should do this. And he's like, I understand your point, but we're gonna go this way. Whereas like Ectune would, like, there's no he just says, shut the hell up.
You
Let's
know
go.
what? I'm gonna have to disagree. I think Ectune's paladin might actually inspire his troops. I think because you're not fighting on the front lines and not inspiring your troops.
Well, true, but it's his way, and that's it.
I,
There's no
but that's all leaders. All leaders make the final decision.
right, but to him, there's no. I don't even think there'd be counseling. Right? There's no war room. There's no moving those little wooden pieces you see around. You
And
know.
maybe that's why he's there, because he is the most
Right.
brilliant person, and it just
Right.
works. He's rarely wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But like, they're like, it's so like he's so respected among his troop. Like, if everybody else thinks that he's wrong, they aren't even going to fall one step behind him in a charge. Like,
Yeah.
they're going to be, even if they think that everybody's going
Respect.
to die and this is the wrong way,
It's got to be
they're going to
respect
be
and admiration.
right.
All right. We need a name for this evil motherfucker.
Um, There's got to be a name for those little pieces because there has to be a name because like every old timey strategy show has them.
What are you talking about?
There's the giant map, and then they have the wooden carvings of like horses and troops, and like they like are always positioning them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's just troops. It's just symbology representing.
Right, but there has to be like a name for them, like how on the dots on dominoes are called pips. Like those don't need names, but they have them.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
Um,
That's fair.
What's his name? What did you put there?
That's a last
Tryman?
name. I need a.
Ed. No.
Edward. I mean, we don't have
Ocelot.
Nah, it's not Ocelot. That's two.
I went like I was like and then my brain just went Ocelot. That's an animal. Let's see.
I mean, I put Edward.
I don't know. Like to me, like also like this guy might be like not all of these are going to be human paladins and human clerics, right? Like there's like to me if there's a like this could be a Goliath.
All right.
Or like some sort of ogre, which
okay.
you know it's
well,
or I mean orc, but I like and so like there could be a very smart orc. Like that's not like I don't think we need to stick
with human names. I was just saying,
right.
Emerald.
Okay.
All right. This cleric. The clerics here. They don't have to be the opposite of Desmond.
No.
This can be.
Are these since he's conquest? Are these frontline medics? Like
so. I mean, and here's the thing about clerics in D&D is the cleric is not the adventuring party cleric. The cleric for most of this they run the church. Right, when they're not adventuring, they're running churches. Paladins are the forward force typically. You know, they are the strength of the god. So when we were a lot of these, we've kept that flavor, and they've been, you know, some level of administrator or overseer for. So Ectune is about conquering and war. His cities are, you know, producing war. You know, the production war machine, right? Weapons, armor, siege equipment. I think the clerics in this case might be the engineers. They might be the production. They are logisticians. There we go, logisticians of the war machine.
Okay. They're the back line of the conquest.
They are they're yep.
They are the pushing force to Amaran's pull.
Yes, organizes and because that's war. War is logistics. It's the bullets have to get to the battlefield. Organizes and leads the logistics of war. Let's see something about this person though. He's going to be a charismatic person because he's got to deal with other countries' import and export.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like he's the main, like with Krolome, he's got like there's got to be maybe some connection there.
Yeah. I can
where
see
like he's a nice
regularly handles international relations and trade. True. Him and Dudley have to be friends. So we need a name. Sean
Connor.
Hams.
Wait, hold on. Let me think about that.
I'm letting you think.
Brothers?
Is there a reason not to currently? Maybe this is a new cleric, right? And this change in relationship and dynamic is a threat to Loros. The war machine is churning harder and better than ever.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
His last name is Hams.
Brother to Dudley Hams. His efforts have greatly increased increased the success of the war effort. An end to the ceasefire is nearing. So we have the librarian disappearing. The war machine starts turning harder, and the players get dropped into this. Now, interesting thing about this setting is we are taking a slice of time in it. But that works for our purposes pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, are you saying like that's a bad thing?
No.
Okay.
I'm saying that we are now talking about the lives of people who will not exist forever in this world, right? Will not exist for 100 years time span. And some of these settings are actually exactly that. I think for Forgotten Realms, Faerun particularly has advanced its own timeline every edition. It's been like, all right, since the last edition, it's been 200 years. The books that have been put out since then are what's taken place in this great cataclysm, and now here's where we're at. So this is fine.
Okay.
In low, I don't think he has one. I don't think he has either.
Wait, I assumed that the paladin was going to be the guy who hunts and slays the mages.
Okay, I'm down. Yep. Mage slayer. Head mage slayer. You're right.
And then after your dungeon idea, I kind of thought maybe the cleric would oversee the dungeon.
You're right. Nope, those are perfect.
Or he's the torturer or something.
To and low that exist anywhere. Okay, responsible for ending all the threats to low that exist anywhere in the world. Let me scroll down a bit because I'm into the section where nobody can see it.
It's hiding behind that beautiful mug.
It's a curse and a responsibility. All right, so this one, caretaker for the for Inlow's dungeon. So caretaker and warden.
Yeah.
Because this thing's a prison for some of these creatures for Inlow's dungeon.
And maybe some of the mages.
Responsible for the brilliant idea of putting the dragon.
So are we? So that is a thing.
Oh, hell yeah! We might give them a regular second floor, but they got to get past the first floor. That dragon's probably well known to. It's hey, have you been to Inlow's dungeon? Fuck no, there's a dragon there. The last 18 people that tried died immediately. He's not even far back. He's the first thing you run into.
It's so, and is it one of those things where it's like kind of forgotten into folklore, but it's still like really true. Like some of the people in the other world don't care about it, or is it like still up in everybody's face?
I think it might have entered the point of like parents telling their children, if you don't go to bed on time, Inlow's gonna get you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and
but that's right after like 5 people were hung in town square for practicing arcane magic. All right, I'm good with that. So Robad, god of desire and power. His paladin is going to be the person who lives the most representative of that. Right, so this is the most ruthless and merciless individual in the realm. Selected specifically for those qualities and given the power to maximize his potential. Instills fear in even his own people.
Right, because like he could kill them.
Right.
Whereas like Actun, that's he might slap you, but he's not gonna.
Like I need you to turn the cog.
That slap is not gonna be with a knife in his hand. Like
slap. Fucking stabbed. Oh shit, we forgot the name in those people.
Oh yeah.
Bassa Therwald. Therwald.
Is Bassa, is that a lady?
No idea. No idea.
Maybe nobody knows.
Doesn't matter. There's just a big metal fucking face cover.
Inlo has a killer. Nobody knows who it is. It could be John, for all people know. But it's just, yeah.
But it's not.
Like they are so good at their job that they don't know. Nobody knows.
Do we know? Or we just go question mark?
Maybe
I just say we don't. We don't.
Yeah.
Headmaid Slayer. Their face and identity are unknown, making them even more creepy. Scary. All right, cool. But the cleric does.
The cleric what?
The cleric should have a name.
Oh, I was just gonna call the cleric the torturer. Like that's what he's known as, or she's known as.
The torturer.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was thinking Andrew Hams, but that's just.
I think that's too deep. The Hams family's got crazy. But I like for the paladin, I think they would just call them the Mage Slayer, right? Like even though he kills sorcerers and all, but shorthand the Mage Slayer, like, and because they gotta call him something.
They call him HMS,
like the boogeyman.
Okay.
But instead of the boogeyman, it's the Mage Slayer.
Do we just call him HMS? Head Mage Slayer, head motherfucker, head Mage Slayer, head. HMS. Who's the HMF here? Are you the HMF? HMFIC. HMFIC.
Oh, I have never heard that before.
You've never hey, who's the HMFIC here? What's that? It's the head motherfucker in charge, right? That's not a thing you.
Is that an army thing? Is that the next rank? There's a 5-star general, and then there's that.
HMFIC. Yeah, that's a. It might have generated from the army only because it ends in IC, and we have. IC is our thing, like OIC, NCOIC, right? Officer in charge, non-commissioned officer in charge. It's a thing. Anyway, Head Mage Slayer, HMS.
Okay, if you want it, sure.
I'm going for it. IC. I'm putting IC at the end of it.
Does that actually stand for in charge?
Yes.
Okay, so the HM, but that's not even like people can't even say that HMSIC.
HMSIC.
That's why it's so long.
We just say
guys,
HIMSIC.
run! It's the HISS.
HIMSIC. It's HIMSIC.
HIMSIC.
Here we go. We'll spell it out. And now we know where it came from. HIMSIC. Head Mage Slayer in charge. HIMSIC.
Okay. Are we calling the cleric just the?
Yeah, whatever. If you like it, I like it. You say as soon as you started writing the tour, I was thinking the tourist, or the tour guide, because I like that idea. Like torture is ominous, but the tour guide is even more ominous.
Where it's something that like people now they like that word has been dirty.
I like it. The name, the tour guide is passed from head cleric to head cleric It is a name that has been dirtied and spreads fear? Question mark. Yeah,
Hey, do you guys have any people that can show us around town? Oh, do you mean a tour guide? No, we don't.
No,
We
we
just
don't.
want someone to show us around town, and point out buildings that are unique. Um,
I'm gonna write that same phrase for the Mage Slayer. I feel like the Mage Slayer started it first. They were all like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "HMSIC." And it became this ominous thing.
where like one mage asked that they die, he like cuts their throat, and like the one guy who's not a mage like scurries away, and he doesn't care. And it's like he said his name's Headsick.
Yeah.
He spelled it though. It was weird.
It was very weird. I like it. All right, so we got Rabad, and he's the most ruthless and merciless individual in the realm, selected specifically for the qualities, for those qualities, and given the power to maximize his potential in series. So I think this is a changing position.
Yeah. Well, is this the one where?
No, I don't know what this is. Go ahead.
A paladin. Did you just disagree with my idea before I gave it?
I know what you're going to say.
Me?
And I both disagreed and agreed with it back again. So go ahead.
Where they directly challenge each other?
Yeah, I think that's a thing. Yep.
Oh, so you said no, and then you're like, yeah, yes.
Actually, yeah, we need that. Right.
Right.
You gain this title by... But you know what? No again.
Why?
Because challenge for power is a lawful trait. Not a challenge, a straight up your life. If somebody can take your life, that power is theirs. Not a challenge.
Right.
A murder.
Correct. Yes. Okay. Yes. Absolutely.
Or to gain this power, you must...
nobody taps you on the shoulder.
Right. You must kill the current paladin. This title hasn't changed hands in over 60 years.
So, okay.
This guy is so incredibly badass that for the last 60 years, no one has been able to touch him. Mm-hmm. I like it. All right. So the cleric, though. Now, this is a dying country. Mm-hmm. It is dying because they're killing their own people.
Right.
Conquest and power is failing. Robad's angry. Who are the clerics?
This is a tough one.
Uh-huh. So we have administrators for all of these, for the most part. These could be the Gravediggers.
Oh. Okay.
Like Robad. Okay, so Robad probably regularly uses the undead in his battles. And to do that efficiently, he needs somebody managing the disposal and collection of bodies.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. The grave keepers. So I got to write all that down. Robad uses the undead in his army. Therefore, there must be an organization dedicated to the efficient storage and use of corpses. The head cleric, the head gravekeeper, is responsible for organizing this effort and the experimentation and leads the experimentation associated with it. So I imagine like this is Frankenstein shit.
Okay.
We need names though. I got Bacon.
Let's see. I keep on clicking on that tab.
I almost feel like this is also distinctly human. That depravity is distinctly human in my mind.
The robot is human?
No, just the cleric. So I wrote Andrew Bacon.
Okay. Is the like and then so the paladin wouldn't be like the paladin is some sort of big dude.
Some sort of big dude, I think. So John says the HMFIC thing starts with the first black mayor in Detroit who had a thing on his desk that said HNIC. Got it. Okay. I can suss that out. So is this guy we just call him like TB? Is he one of the Hams family too? TB Hams?
No. No. I don't know if you've been waiting an hour and a half to tell that joke, but no. I will not stand for it.
It would look something like this. Like maybe he takes out the space in the name. Maybe he doesn't.
How about?
What do you have? This should be the easy part, but I'm gonna get you on this name creation thing.
Okay, see, this is what keeps on happening. Is I type and it like doesn't do anything, but like the
letters turn green. All right, just what is it? Just tell me what it is.
I can't pronounce it. Okay. I mean, I can. But
well, type it again. Type it again. Just keep.
Goth.
Type it.
Goth.
I like it, and I like him being This sounds like an orc.
Yep. And he might not need to have a last name. Maybe he doesn't. He's Yugi Goth. He's like Beyonce.
Yeah, he's like Beyonce. I'm gonna write that down. He is Beyonce, and I can't spell Beyonce. I can't actually spell Beyonce.
There's a Y in it.
I'm looking for where that Y goes. Okay.
There.
All right. I like it. He is like Beyonce. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to sum up, let's scroll back up. We have...
To sum up, let's scroll up.
Let's scroll up. Up, 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 up.
Ka-chow.
You can't say ka-chow. We have this. Bazinga?
What, you mean we can't have Lightning McQueen here too?
Bazinga? No. Maybe. You can have all the lightning you want. Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. All right. Hey, so what we did is we created a total of 18 people that are of great influence. 17 people.
Yes.
17 people. and one rotating person. That are the most powerful and influential people in our realm because they are the clerics and paladins of the gods in this world. And that's awesome. We started this episode like we always do with kind of some loose ideas, and we actually have some pretty cool things here that would be really fun to play out. You know, the NPC interactions here with the characters, which is the fantastic part. 10 years from now, or next August, I think is my goal now.
Next August, okay.
Well, just because I leave for the summer.
School for the summer. But yeah, you'll have a lot of time there.
I will, and I'll have a lot of time to plan and prep this stuff because the job I'm doing is going to be easy. It just requires me to be there for 90 days.
You could travel around the world.
I'll be the OIC. See that, the OIC for an event called Family Day, which is the day in which all the families come and visit their cadets the day before graduation.
And then are initiated in trial by combat, and the families have to fight each other.
I wish this is a 30-minute ceremony that I will have to conduct 21 of. So yeah, that's my whole job, and I have like a team of like 4 other people to do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'm Uncommon.
And I'm Shazam Poof.
Not quite nearly loud enough. One more time. I'm Uncommon.
I'm Shazam Poof.
And you've been watching Delvin in Deep. Stay tuned. Watch next week as we dive into episode 8, please. Because where else would you find your Dungeons and Dragons content? There is no more Dungeons and Dragons content on the web. I looked. It's not there. We are it.
Stop looking. You don't need to look.
We've looked already. Trust me. This is it. This is where you kind of get your D&D content each week here on Twitch at uncommon_gaming. Was it Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. One of these days, I'm going to have a voice for every single one of these characters. And, 2/3 of them will sound the same. That's not true. I have more voices than that. I do. I'm getting some pretty good voices out of my... I'm getting some practice. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about how. We're going to get there. And, yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Come to the Discord, hang out, watch Twitter, all the social medias. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe down below for more content. This is great. Everybody have fun. I'll catch you next time.